Why should I live in history, huh? Doc, I don't want to know anything anymore. This is a world where nothing is solved. When someone once told me time is a flat circle. Everything we've ever done or will do, we're gonna do over and over and over again.
As my own existence comes to a close, only to begin anew in ways uncertain. All this has happened before, and will happen again. 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 Again.
I've been thinking about the nature of the universe and how it might have been created. I still think dystheism or an evil god creating it is one possibility, but I have been seriously considering that we might be trapped in some kind of eternal loop. Basically, the events in the universe could be recurring, meaning they happen over and over again. We experience time flowing forward in a linear fashion, but it could be more like a flat circle. So time might actually be cyclical and repeating instead of linear and progressive. We already experience many loops or cycles that could be like microcosms of the universe at large, as above, so below. For example, there's the 24-hour day and night cycle as the Earth rotates around its axis. Then there's the year cycle as the Earth orbits around the Sun. There's also the cycle of life in nature, where dead organisms feed the living organisms, which then die, and so the cycle continues. I think this is one way that an eternal universe could be structured without the need for a god or intelligent design. But let's rewind a bit. Right now, most mainstream scientists and secular people think the Big Bang is the most likely explanation for how the universe was created, and there is a lot of scientific evidence to suggest that something like this happened. However, if you simplify it, then the Big Bang Theory sounds a bit strange. A cynical person could say that the Big Bang Theory in a nutshell is that first there was nothing, then something exploded for no reason, and X billions of years later we have the current universe. Big Bang skeptics can also ask, how can something be created from nothing, and if there was something before the Big Bang, what was it and how did it come into existence? To this, scientists don't yet have any good explanations, so religious people will obviously say that God did it. Secular people can then ask them, if something cannot be created from nothing, what created God? To which religious people will often answer that God always existed and was never created. But you can actually use the same logic for the universe itself. Maybe it is eternal and has always existed, and time is actually a flat circle. Not everything is as it first appears. There are some scientists who think the universe could be cyclical, so it may be in an infinite loop of expansion and contraction. German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche also had an idea called eternal recurrence, which basically meant that the universe repeats itself or recurs eternally, and we will be back here doing the same things over and over again forever. Additionally, I would say that there is no free will and the universe is somewhat deterministic. Although events cannot be predicted with 100% accuracy due to how the universe works on a quantum level, in hindsight everything still happens due to prior circumstances. We all still act based on the laws of physics and how our biological programming reacts to the environment. I think this works well with the idea of eternal recurrence. This is just my personal mishmash of different theories, but I would say there might not be a supernatural soul. Instead, our personality and identity could be the emergent and evolving results of our general biology, unique genetics, and memories that we form from how our biology interacts with the environment. Consciousness itself may be generic, and our conscious experience is filtered through our unique biology and experienced memories. For example, a human and a cat may experience the world differently due to biological differences, and even men and women probably also see the world in different ways, as do individuals themselves due to our differences in genetics and experiences. So consciousness may be like a glass of water, and our biology and memories, for example, are things we add to the water. You can add tea and sugar or coffee and cinnamon to get two different drinks from the same glass of water. In the same way, different biology and memories will shape different individuals. Then there is a theory called generic subjective continuity, which suggests that there is an eternal continuity of conscious experience, because nothingness or non-existence cannot be experienced. For example, if you go to sleep and have 8 hours of dreamless sleep, then it's like you time travel to the point when you wake up and begin experiencing reality again, as you did not experience the unconscious state of sleep. So once your subjective conscious experience ends upon physical death, even if you're the last conscious organism in the universe, from the perspective of consciousness itself, a newly born conscious organism will immediately begin experiencing reality. This would happen even if there is a gap between the previous and next conscious experience that was 1 trillion years or more. I am actually somewhat on board with this theory, but I would make one more suggestion. Once you die, from your perspective, you are immediately reborn and begin experiencing life again, but obviously without any past life memories, as these memories were stored in your brain that died during the previous cycle. That's if eternal recurrence is correct, and time is a flat circle and the universe is cyclical. So if this theory is correct, some people are lucky and get the best seats in this hell realm forever, while others are eternally stuck in their less than ideal existence and forced to experience the same misfortune again and again, forever. There are, however, some people like Russian esotericist P.D. Ouspensky who thought we could escape the loop through a self-development system called the Fourth Way, which involves various mindfulness practices and strict self-discipline. I can't say for sure, of course, but this could just be another cope, considering that humans are prone to delusions and magical thinking. However, if it helps people to have a purpose in their life and get through the day without causing undue harm, then I don't think it's a problem. These are just some of my thoughts, and I could of course be wrong, and I am probably wrong about some details at least, but right now this sounds somewhat plausible and logical to me. Remember to like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video. Okay, thanks, bye.